Magic down the middle. Magic look. It says to Kareem, come on down here, big fella. Put in a chair. The crowd stand for Kareem to get the ball. Everybody's waving their arms. It's into Kareem. Kareem swing left, right hand, 12-footer.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is here. He is the NBA's all-time leading scorer with 38,387 points. Over the course of 20 seasons, he won 6 NBA championships, 6 league MVP awards, and was a 19-time NBA All-Star. He is best known for introducing basketball to the Skyhook, a shot that is nearly impossible to block. He has just written a new kids book called Sasquatch in the Paint, and he is announcing a new initiative called Camp Skyhook, which focuses on education in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, something we all need. I am pleased to have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back at this table. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Nice to be here.
We'll talk about all of this, but I mean, first this, Sasquatch in, am I saying that right? Sasquatch?
Sasquatch in the Paint.
In the Paint. And
yeah.
Theo is you?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
It's kind of my experiences when I was growing up. I had my growth spurt. Yeah. Between the 6th and 8th grade, I grew about a foot.
Between 6th and 8th grade?
Between 2 years, I grew about a foot. And all of a sudden, you get this height, and everybody thinks you're supposed to be a great athlete, and you don't have any more skills than you had before you started your growth spurt. So how do you cope with that? And just the expectations that kids have of someone who presents that type of situation.
And you hope they'll get out of it what?
Hope they get a feeling that what they're going through as they enter adolescence is nothing crazy or strange. Every kid goes through it. Every adult has gone through it. But when it's happening to you, you think you're the only person that this is happening to. So between my experiences and my co-authors, he's got 2 kids in middle school right now.
Right.
So he was able to steal enough from what he's learned about their lives to make this an interesting book.
But you've always been a curious guy and an intelligent guy. When you were 6'8", when you were 14, I mean, you obviously stood out.
Absolutely.
But how did it affect you psychologically?
It's tough because you have people, all of a sudden you're as tall as an adult, so you must be able to act like an adult. It's not true. You got to fake it. You got to figure out ways to not seem that it's any big deal, that this is just natural and you're all on top of it. You know, that's what kids more or less think about, how they're supposed to conduct themselves.
Yeah. Now, are you interested in kids? I mean, did you want to write a book to kids, or did you simply want to write a book and this was a nice book to write?
I thought that kids needed to deal with these issues because, for me, so much of what the benefits of team sports are not, those values aren't being transferred to the kids. You know, the whole idea about teamwork, conflict resolution, understanding how to help each other, all of those things that you learn, the discipline that you develop to develop your own personal skills and the skills that you develop as a group. These experiences really help you as you go through your life. And right now, it's all about play of the day and look at me. And we need to do something about that.
And also I want to talk about the Camp Skyhook. What's that about?
Camp Skyhook basically is my effort to give kids a shot that can't be blocked. Science, technology, engineering, and math will be the basis for most jobs in the 21st century. And if you don't have some preparation in those subjects, you're not going to be able to get a good job. The state of California wants to get this message over to the kids who are now in grade and middle school, that they need to start thinking about this. So I'm working with the state of California. We have a camp up in the beautiful Angeles National Forest that is a teaching camp. So the kids get to go up there for a week, experience nature. A lot of them, they live less than an hour away, and they've never been out of their neighborhood.
I know.
They've never seen it.
It's amazing. I know.
It's incredible. So we want to enrich these kids' lives and give them an idea of what to focus on with their educational efforts, so that they'll have a chance as adults to get great jobs and do good things for their community.
It would be great, and I know you've thought about this, all the areas you tick off are things that this country needs in order to be competitive in the 21st century.
Exactly.
Every one of them.
Exactly.
math, science, engineering, all those computer scientists. It would be nice if we could somebody figure out a way, and this is not my original idea, everybody's been talking about this, so that kids were aspired to be scientists as much as they aspired to be NBA stars, rock stars.
These kids dream about being, as you say, rappers, actors, athletes, and most of the time these dreams aren't realized. But they can get a job, a six-figure job right now, immediately out of college if they have an engineering degree. And they don't understand it. They don't understand where to look for meaningful employment.
Right. Do well, and then go to college, and then go to maybe perhaps a graduate degree, and then get a job doing really interesting things, because the scientific discovery process is like solving a puzzle.
It's like solving a puzzle, and there's a pretty nice financial remuneration involved.
Yeah, and if you get entrepreneurial, even more so.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, so tell me about your life today.
My life today is great.
Part of it,
I get a chance to write. I work with people at, I'm a leukemia survivor, and I get a chance to work with people and doing patient summits and giving them the opportunity to figure out what they're going through and hopefully give them some good ideas about how to continue.
Because it's easier for them to deal with it if they know that someone like you has dealt with it.
That has dealt with it and survived,
and prevailed.
And that they're not alone, and it's not a death threat.
Yeah.
I started out on a drug called Gleevec.
Yes, I know Gleevec. Yeah.
Oh, and it was such a great drug, but it didn't get me to the space I needed to get to. So they switched me to the second generation drug called Tasigna, and I achieved a full molecular response, which means that there's no bad white blood cells in my body. So my leukemia is really being managed.
The question then becomes, do people who may have the same leukemia you have but are not as famous or as wealthy have the same access to that drug? And if they don't, how do we make sure they do?
Oh, we're going to make sure that they do through a lot of different ways, but they can call the company Novartis.
Right. And Novartis is a pharmaceutical company.
Is a pharmaceutical company. They can call them, and they have ways and means of helping people who can't afford to pay for their medication.
When you look at the NBA today, and you look down and see what Miami Heat has and what they're doing, is LeBron the greatest player in the history of the NBA?
I don't think so. I'm not knocking LeBron. LeBron is awesome.
Right.
I don't know if he's the greatest ever.
But because it's too early to tell.
It's too early to tell, yeah.
And how do we measure who the greatest is?
I think just a combination of statistics and then just the actual success of winning the world championship.
I mean, you have to put into it how many championships you won.
Exactly.
In order, because that's a test.
Right. Yeah. So, for most people, for me, the greatest NBA player I saw was Bill Russell.
Because he won how many championships?
11.
Yeah, exactly.
11 in 13 years.
Yeah.
8 in a row. That's not going to happen again. That was incredible. So I try to defer to him. In terms of individual excellence, I always point to Oscar Robertson.
Why do you do that? I know you do. Because of the pureness of his shot, or what?
Oscar had seasons where he averaged triple doubles. That's points, rebounds, and assists. No one else has done that. I don't think anyone else could do that. He's the only one that could do that. So, I always try and acknowledge him, because people didn't get a chance to see him play when the game was being televised around the world like it is now. So they really don't appreciate him.
When you look at your old team, the Lakers.
The Lakers, actually, this season should be a fun one for the Lakers, because expectations are way down. Kobe's hurt, Nash is hurt, and they have a lot of new personnel. But the guys that they got are pretty good athletes, and they're working hard, and they're getting some things done. I'm pretty sure that they will at least end up in the middle of the pack. Yeah.
Other than you, who has the second best skyhook in basketball?
Nobody else shot it like I did.
I don't know why not.
I don't know. I worked on it. When I was in the 5th grade, my grade school coach, Farrell Hopkins, got some guys to show me some stuff about being a pivot man, because I was always the tallest kid in my class. Right. So they got some guys to show me some pivot moves, and they showed me George Mikan's drill
Right.
for the hook shot, and I started working on it when I was in the 5th grade. By the time I got to the 8th grade, it was second nature to me, and something I was able to use for the length of my career.
What was your accuracy with the Skyhook?
I shot between 55 and 60% in the NBA lifetime.
Right.
So that's pretty good. They weren't all Skyhooks, but
no.
I was an efficient player.
I would assume with Skyhooks it would be even better, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But, there were some layups and dunks in there.
Yeah, that as well.
But the whole idea of taking a high percentage shot close to the paint, that's the way to play the game. From the inside out, you get...
That's a smart way to play the game.
That's a smart way to play it. That's how you win.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
Are you ever called on? I mean, do you do it to help with a young player? Someone calls you up and says, come just work with this kid. He needs your wisdom. He needs your experience. He needs your judgment.
Summer of 2012, I got a call from Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to improve his offense. So I said, come on out. Joakim, he has a great attitude. He came out. We spent about 12, 15 days in the gym, over a period of, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. And I was able to show him some things, get his head around what he could do better. And last season, he had a great season. He was vastly improved offensively. He got hurt toward the end of the year, and that really kind of torpedoed their chances in the playoffs. But great attitude. It was great working with him.
I think the country's doing on the racial front.
I think we've been doing some backsliding. What I've seen, some of the Supreme Court decisions and all this effort to suppress
having voting rights in the South.
Minority voters. I don't get it. It seems like we're moving backwards. But I guess we're just going to have to keep up the fight.
This book is called Sasquatch in the Paint, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, written with Ray Opsfeld.
Anybody interested, they can go to Amazon.com/Kareem. They can find out all about it, order it, and,
change your life.
Put it in the hands of young people who need to read it.
Change your life.
Hope so.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Always. Back in a moment. Stay with us.